as head coach in New England. No opposing quarterback has thrown a better game. There you have it, folks. The Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate Podcast. Unfortunately, we are down one member of the Dorm Debate Podcast, Caleb. He is out sick, but he'll be back next week, hopefully. Now, you may look at this screen and you'll see something different. If anyone can point it out, you're a real fan. Jonathan, after the Cowboys win over Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, you have collected yourself a Dak Prescott jersey, your first NFL jersey ever, correct?
Yep, that's right. After Dak had a record game, I just had to order me a jersey and wear it.
You Amazon Primed it. It took one day and you shipped it immediately. Why'd you pick Dak Prescott? You had a lot of players to pick from. CeeDee Lamb, Zeke. I know you really like Zeke. I'm surprised you picked Dak.
Yeah, I mean, the offense has been playing really well, and I think it all starts with Dak and his leadership, because Dak has grown smarter in the game. He's been making great throws. He's a real pass threat now. He can not only just use his feet, but he's a real pass threat now. I think he's improved, and I think this offense really starts with Dak. Zeke, maybe a few years ago, I would have got his jersey, but Tony Pollard has stepped up, so, I thought Dak was the most complete person.
You sound like a fantasy owner right now. Well, Pollard's playing, so I'm not going to draft Zeke.
That's funny. Well, we'll probably get to a lot of Cowboys comments. So this is a special episode of the Dorm Debate Podcast. It's our first one for season 2. It's our Q&A segment. So I'm going to call it Q&A, but really we just posed a question to our TikTok. And the question was, give us your best NFL take for the rest of the season. So we have a lot. We had over 280 comments on the TikTok.
Wow.
We tried to just go through and pick our favorite ones. And obviously we'll be shouting you guys out. We really appreciate everybody who commented on this. It really means a lot. And we're going to go through that. But before that, we're going to head over and talk about the Bills and Titans game. Now, I was actually flying back from Atlanta, so I didn't really get to see much of the game, but the Bills lost. I was shocked to get off the plane and see that the Bills lost. The Titans have really struggled this year with injuries, and even during that game, A.J. Brown goes down, Taylor Lewan goes down. The injuries still pile up for the Titans, and they got it done 31-34. They stuffed Josh Allen at like the 5-yard line. They went for it on 4th down. Could have got a field goal to tie it. They tried to get. I thought so when I saw the highlights, I thought they were going to try to get someone off sides, but then they actually hike it and try to go for it, and it looked like Allen slipped, and they end up losing. So now the Titans and the Bills have the same record, 4-2. Now, Jonathan, you don't really like the Bills at all. Probably your most hated team. And I just want your opinion on this loss, because the Bills were 4-1, basically crushing every team that went by them. Steelers, we felt, was an anomaly, and now they face the Titans and they lose. And the Titans they did not have any momentum going into this game. So what are your thoughts on the Bills? Do you think they lost this one, or did the Titans win it?
Yeah, I think the Bills played well. I think both teams played well. But at the end of the day, the Bills weren't able to close this good game. And honestly, guys, they haven't really played a challenging team this year. The Steelers haven't been playing too well this year. They beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs, we all know Patrick Mahomes has thrown so much interceptions. They're not the same Chiefs, right? The Dolphins, they played the Washington football team, the Texans. They haven't faced a real decent team this year. And so when they met the Titans, they weren't able to close the game. They weren't able to finish the game. And so there was a lot of great things on the offense. Look, I think Josh Allen, he's the real deal, okay? Their offense
all right.
Can score points. Their offense can score points, but I just don't think their team is going to go very far in the playoffs, because you saw what the Titans did to them. And the Titans, even though they're leading their division, they're still not the best they can be. And so if they face other challenging AFC teams this season, I think they're going to be in trouble. So, you know, I think Derrick Henry, obviously he's a beast, right? So he was probably tough for the Bills defense, but I want to see the Bills face a little bit more tougher teams during the rest of the season. I don't know who made their schedule, maybe a Bills fan, to be honest with you, because they haven't really faced anybody. It's kind of annoying.
What do you mean? They played the Chiefs, bro. Like,
dude, the Chiefs aren't the
the
same
Chiefs
Chiefs.
went to the Super Bowl last year.
I think
Okay, but Patrick Mahomes, how much interceptions has he thrown?
That's because the Bills forced him to make interceptions.
No. The Chiefs aren't the same.
well, the thing
They
is
struggled against the Washington football team. Are you kidding me?
Who,
They're
the
not same
Chiefs?
team.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They struggled against they just beat them by more than 20, 15 points. They beat them by like 20. That's
Well,
not struggling.
well, think about this. Think about if you looked at the Bills preseason, they face Steelers who made the playoffs. They faced Washington who made the playoffs. Chiefs made the playoffs, and the Titans made the playoffs. That's
okay. The Steelers,
preseason.
what are they? The Steelers are
Preseason.
fourth in the division right now, right?
The Bills?
No, the Steelers.
Oh, no, I know. But I'm saying beforehand, like if you're making this schedule in preseason, you look at this, it's like you face 4
Playoff teams in your first 6 games.
Like
yeah,
that's tough.
Okay, so so you have the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Titans,
and Washington. I mean, we didn't know Washington was going to be this bad.
Washington. We all know is bad. I mean,
I know, but still.
But still, I mean, it kind of seemed like to me watching the game was that the Bills kind of forgot that all they have to do is like stop Henry, because with the 2 receivers being like injured, we knew Julio wasn't 100% and we knew AJ Brown wasn't 100%. They're saying they're going to limit his snaps until week 10. So like the Bills, the last 3 times they played Derrick Henry, they kept them to under like 85 rushing yards, which is really hard to do. And it felt like this time they just like kind of forgot about that game plan. Like the receivers are still banged up, just like stop Henry, but they couldn't. He had 156 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and it was just like they just didn't want to stop him. So like they just kept churning away yards with Henry. And then obviously the last call, I probably would have went for it, but giving it to Allen right up the middle with those huge guys right there, I would have liked to see them throw it. Obviously their pass game is really good, so they should be able to get a yard or 2.
So do you both agree with the decision to go for it on 4th down rather than to kick a field goal and go into overtime?
I think so, because I mean, with Henry playing how he was, you didn't really want to give the ball back to the Titans. You just couldn't stop him at that point. It was like guaranteed they were going to get down to field goal range at least. And with you have one of the best offenses in the league. So yeah, you should be able to get it. It's only 1 yard.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
if you can't get that 1 yard, then you shouldn't have won the game anyway.
Yeah.
It seems like he just slipped. Like that's the sucky part is like he
But
may have
but
gotten
you
it.
but what I was fine if he was going to run it. Like I would rather them throw it, but why put him under center? Like he's standing up in shotgun and then you put him down under center to get it and then go forward. Like usually he's better when he like gets it back. We've seen those QB draws where he comes back, puts the ball by his shoulders and then he runs. Like I would rather see that.
Rather than like a QB sneak from the
right. Yeah, that's not his game. That's Brady's game.
Yeah, that kind of, I don't know. So it was funny. I was on the flight and like we get on the flight, the Bills are playing, and you have like a TV on the back of the seat, but it kept going in and out. So everyone was pissed on the plane.
Wait, the game was on the plane?
You could get ESPN on the TVs.
Oh wow!
But it kept going in and out in flight. So like the last 10 minutes when we were like landing and stuff, it cut out. And then we land and we like park near the terminal and it comes back on and it shows Emmanuel Sanders like on the sideline on the bench, like sitting down, and it showed the final score. And like everyone was pissed off. They're like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And it was so close and no one knew what happened.
So you didn't get to watch it like the whole flight?
I watched bits and pieces. It was just like you're live. It was just lagging, man.
It was just a bad day for everybody.
It was just a bad day, like bad connection for everybody.
Yeah. Usually, by the way, usually for 4th and 1, I mean, you do want to run it, but I think that this team they're good at passing. I think Josh Allen, he's a good passer. He's not a rusher, and all their running backs aren't that great, to be honest with you. Singletary, he only had like 27 yards. Zach Moss, 24. I mean, so their rushing is not great, to be honest with you. So I think they should have lined up in shotgun and maybe did a quick out or something and let Josh Allen throw rather than have him do a sneak. He's a good scrambler, but he's not really a guy that, you'd think can rush for a yard or something, or, I don't think he's tough to stop. I don't think he's tough to stop in terms of rushing.
I mean, the good thing about the Bills, they have a bye for the next 4 weeks, so they get like a whole month off.
Holy shit! They face the Dolphins, Jaguars, Jets.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they have a bye week, then they play Dolphins, Jaguars, Jets. So like they're 3-0 going into November, like going into Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, they're making the playoffs, but once they get there, it's going to be trouble.
Oh
So
yeah,
now,
they're definitely.
The hype is going to be building up again, and it'll be the same thing. Be like, oh, the Bills are back. They're going to blow out all these teams, and then they'll get to like Colts, Saints, and they'll have a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, once they get to like that stretch between Saints, Patriots, and Bucks. I mean, that Bucks game is going to be such a fun game to watch. But I mean, it's good that they're going to hit like tougher teams down the stretch because they need some adversity. It's good for them.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the Titans? Their division is really weird because they're 4-2, and I'm looking at it right now, but I did see the stat that everybody else combined has 4 wins and like 14 losses or something. So they're just in a crappy division. If they probably go 8-8, they probably win, or it'd be 9-8 this year because there's 17 games, but if they go 9-8, they're gonna win their division. It seems like.
Yeah, they're gonna win their division, even if they lose to the Chiefs this week. Like they still play the Texans twice. Like that's probably 2 wins. They play the Jaguars another time. They play the Dolphins. They play the 49ers and the Steelers. Like none of those teams are really that good. So like, yeah, they're gonna win the division.
Look at all the other AFC. I mean, AFC is unreal. You have the Chargers with 4 wins, Raiders with 4 wins, Broncos and Chiefs with 3 wins. Then you go over to the AFC North. Ravens are 5-1. Bengals have 4 wins. Browns have 3 wins. Steelers have 3 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like over like this year, I feel like is the first year that I feel like the AFC might be better than the NFC. Like we've always said the NFC is better, but AFC is picking it up.
For sure. If you look at just like distribution, I think so. I think AFC is a little bit better. I think it's this may be the first year where I don't think you could call out, a confident Super Bowl from the NFC and the AFC. You couldn't be like, Tom Brady and the Bucks. That may be the only one. It's the only one you could call out. Like if you said Bills, well, they just lost to the Titans. If you said Chargers, well, they just lost to the Ravens. Well, if you say Ravens, well, they lost to the Raiders week 1. And if you say Titans, well, Titans are 4-2 and they have injuries.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely a lot. It's tough to say anything right now.
Yeah. You have some seasons like this. Like this season in the AFC, it's up for grabs. Whoever wants it has to get it. The Chiefs are struggling. I mean, this year is up for grabs in the AFC, so we'll see who emerges.
All right, it's funny you say the Chiefs. So let's transition into our takes from our fans over at TikTok. Now, as I said, I posed the question. I said, comment your best take for the rest of the NFL season. 285 comments on the TikTok. We picked some of our favorites. Let's go with the most liked one first, and then we'll work our way down the like system. We just talked about it's pretty hard to predict a Super Bowl. Pick the 2 teams. Well, our most liked comment predicted, this is from JMatt731. Cardinals versus Bills Super Bowl. Do we think the Cardinals will make the Super Bowl?
No, I don't think so.
No, Jonathan?
I think the Cardinals, I think it's definitely a high possibility they can make the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, their offense is incredible. Kyler Murray and the great running backs they have. You have AJ Green, right?
Yeah.
And what's his name? Christian Kirk, right? So I mean, they have a lot of pieces on offense, and similar to the Cowboys, their offense is have been pretty unstoppable this year. And so I think it's definitely possible. They have J.J. Watt on the defense, bringing pressured quarterbacks. I think it's possible they can, make the Super Bowl this year and surprise everybody.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I mean, they have every possible, like, every possible, I want to say position, but like if you had to say, oh man, on a good offense, you'd need like a gadget guy, Rondale Moore. You need like a wide receiver one, DeAndre Hopkins. You need like a speed receiver back, Chase Edmonds. You need a power back. Oh, that's James Conner. Oh, you
Right.
need like a deep guy. Oh, that's Christian Kirk. Oh, you need a guy to like throw up in the end zone, AJ Green. It's like they have everything. They have everything you could ever want in an offense. It's scary how everyone filled into their role so nicely.
Yeah, I think their offense is pretty set. The only thing that I struggle with is like their secondary.
Yep.
And because we obviously know their front four is really good, Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, and then you got Isaiah Simmons stepping up, but Patrick Peterson gone to the Vikings. I think there's actually a better chance that the Bills make the Super Bowl than the Cardinals because Brady's in the NFC. You got Rodgers there. Don't forget the Rodgers and the Packers play the Cardinals not this upcoming week, but in week 8. So that's going to be a really good game, and we'll see.
Yeah, and if you go to the Bills, I would say I would say that as well. I'd say that the Cardinals have a less likely chance because of all those veteran quarterbacks, and
Right.
the AFC. All these young guys are leading the pack. Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. They don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs, so the Bills could easily upset them.
Right.
Let's go to our second most liked. This is from Bengals coach Zach Taylor. um, his take is Bengals prove themselves and make the playoffs, setting up a young team for a bright future. I'm wearing Bengals stuff right now. This is my boy, Chris Evans. He got his first touchdown in the NFL. Congrats to you, Chris. That it was a double move. What was it? A go route to the end zone.
Stutter step.
Stutter step. It was filthy. You guys need to go watch it. It was so filthy. We've been telling you, like when we interviewed him, he said he's a mix of Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. His route running is up on their level with Kamara and McCaffrey. It's so good. So congrats to you, Chris. Hopefully it'll be a lot more in your career. But back to this. So the Bengals prove themselves and make the playoffs. Let's start there. Their division is one of the toughest in the NFL. You have the Ravens at 5-1 and the Bengals right there at 4-2. But the Browns and Steelers have 3 wins. They're right behind them. It really is anybody's division. And with the AFC being so dominant, you're going to have to win a lot of games to get that first or second wild card spot.
Right. Well, we don't forget we do have a third wild card spot because of remember that started last year, or I don't know if it started last year or this year, but there's that extra wild card spot now.
Oh shoot! So now there's 3.
So now there's 3. So they could definitely make it because when you look at the 2 teams, you see Chargers in first. That AFC West is pretty stacked. You're saying the Raiders are 4-2. They're looking pretty good. And then you think the Chiefs are going to make it. That's already 2 of the wild cards. So then the next would be the Bengals have the next best record. So right now they would be sitting in that last or one of the wild card spots. So, but I think as far as that take goes, I think it's a good take. I think they could definitely make the playoffs. Browns and Steelers have injuries and injuries with the Browns, but then Steelers with Roethlisberger, declining. I think Bengals, we've been talking about it all season. They are an up and coming team. We like Chris Evans. We like Jamar Chase. We love that offense. Just getting the pieces on defense to, stop guys. They have every piece on offense. Like we said before, you were saying about the Cardinals. They have the power back with Mixon. They got Chris Evans out of the backfield. They got a tight end in Uzama, who we saw a few games ago get a couple touchdowns, and then you got 3 good receivers. So definitely have all the pieces for it.
Jonathan, what do you think about Joe Burrow? Because a lot of people after that gruesome injury last season, they thought, he wasn't going to be the same player. They even said the Bengals might draft a quarterback because they were so worried about that injury. How do you think he's played in this offense? And what do you think about the Bengals being one of the best young cores in the league?
Yeah, I like Joe Burrow. I think he's really above many of his peers that just entered the league. It's his second season. I think he's taking command of the offense, and I think the offensive coordinator they trust him. They're calling the offense around him. Really. I think he hasn't made too much mistakes this season. Which is good. But they have a lot of players that are helping him out, like Chris Evans, right? They have more optionality, but I think I'm really impressed by him in terms of being injured last year, and remaining positive, still learning the playbook, and this year coming and taking command of the offense, because it's not as easy as it looks. I mean, he's making it look pretty easy, and so kudos to him for coming back and really knowing the offense really well. I definitely think they found their franchise guy in Joe Burrow, so I'm impressed by him.
Yeah, I was surprised by their free agency pickups. They picked a lot of defensive guys up, but the main guy, Trey Hendrickson, he's having a very, very good year, similar to last year. Kind of went under the radar. I think he's got 5.5 sacks already on the season. So just that little bit of help on defense from last year, the Bengals defense was awful. It was atrocious. So that pickup was nice. Look, I guess I criticized the Jamar Chase pick, but he looks amazing. I mean,
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Who would have thought that he would be the number one option over guys like Boyd and T. Higgins, who have been there for a while? He just from the first game.
It's just like a comfort zone. Like Burrow, if he's ever under pressure, he's always every single time going to look over to Chase and give him a chance. I feel like that's what happened against, was it the Packers or something? He had that like 70-yard touchdown or something where he was like rolling out and nobody was coming to get him, and he just gave Chase a chance. But I mean, they got a big game this week in Baltimore. That should be fun to watch.
That's why they got him. That's why they got Jamar Chase, the former teammates. He's comfortable with them.
Right.
That's his go-to guy,
Yeah. And Penei Sewell is having a good season, but he got injured, so I don't think he's playing as of recently.
Right.
But the Bengals have to get it done this week. They got to have some kind of signature win. I
mean, it's going to be tough to stop the Ravens. The Ravens are one of the best teams in the league right now, and I know they're only 5-1. They're not undefeated like the Cardinals, but you could just tell how they're playing. They just destroyed the Chargers, made them look silly, and we thought it was going to be a close game. So they're just playing really well.
Yeah, and Rashad Bateman's coming back as well, which
right.
will only help that offense.
Right.
All right, let's keep it moving. Our third most liked is from Jared Younger 28. I like your name, Jared. Kamara's production skyrockets after Michael Thomas comes back. So when does Michael Thomas come back precisely?
So I don't know off the top of my head. I think he was activated. Let me check that. But I think as far as that take, I think it's pretty true. I have some. So I see this article. Michael Thomas believed to be a few weeks away. So he's still got probably a few weeks left. They did have a bye last week, so now they're coming back and they play the Seahawks on Monday Night Football this week. I mean, Kamara has had 94 carries this year and 15 receptions, but he's only averaged like 3.9 yards per carry, which isn't amazing. So his volume is pretty good, but as far as his production, I think having Michael Thomas come back can only help their offense. Like we always say there's like a predicament. Okay, is it good to have another star player out because then the other star player will get more production, or is it not? So like an example for this year is like Christian McCaffrey goes out, right? So immediately the next game, DJ Moore, if you have DJ Moore on your fantasy team, you're like, oh wait, maybe with McCaffrey out, they're going to have to throw it more. So DJ Moore is going to have even more fantasy points, which ended up working out against the Cowboys. But then the next game, I forget who they were playing at, maybe the Eagles. They watched the tape and they're like, okay, they just go to DJ Moore now, so let's cover him.
Yeah.
And then they played the Vikings last week, and DJ Moore didn't have a good week either. So you always want, with McCaffrey there, they would be able to move the ball down the field, and the defense would have to focus on somebody else. So it could only help Kamara's production if Michael Thomas comes back, because it'll give Winston another option to throw to. It'll help them move the ball down the field and give Kamara a better chance for touchdowns, and it'll keep those linebackers honest. They won't have to stack the box because there's one of the best receivers in the league on the other team.
Yeah, I completely agree with what John said. That's right on.
I think in terms of fantasy, I traded for him in one of my leagues.
Yep, took him from me. I screwed up. I got upset. I'm 1-5.
I mean, I gave you Jamar Chase.
I know, but
well,
still.
I think I got the better end of the deal. But if you don't have Kamara on your fantasy team, maybe extend an offer, try to trade for him before this Sunday or this Monday, because they play Seattle, and Seattle's run defense is one of the worst in the league. So if you're a Kamara owner, keep him. But if you're not a Kamara, try to trade for him before this game, before he pops off. But definitely the rest of the season, I love Kamara as one of the top 3 running backs in fantasy for sure.
Well, we have another question, or not questions. What do you call these statements?
Takes.
My brain is fried.
You can't remember that word, huh?
All right, Brady Fienberg 00. It relates to the last take. Michael Thomas will come back and be a top 10 receiver for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
Tell me about that, Jonathan.
I mean, look, I like Jameis Winston, but he's clearly not Drew Brees. He's not really a good thrower. In terms of being football smart, he's not like Drew Brees. He can't make enough plays in terms of throwing the ball. He needs to rely on Kamara, right? It's like a mix of running, little swing passes, right? He's not that guy where will make 20 throws a game to Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, he's going to have some big plays when he comes back, but I don't think the coaches trust Jameis Winston enough to give him that much pass attempts in order to have Michael Thomas have a big game one week. I think with the Saints, it's going to be a combination of Kamara, a few passes, play action. Jameis is not the focus point of this offense, as Drew Brees was when he was here a few years ago. So
I think,
what's his nickname? Slant guy?
Yeah, Slant Boy.
Slant Boy.
I think the concern for me is not really around Winston. It's more around one of the reasons is because their defense is so good. So like Jonathan said, it's kind of like low scoring games. So like their defense is good. They're not going to have to throw it a lot. They're going to use Kamara. But two other things. One, he's coming back from an injury. It's not like he was suspended and he's coming back fully healthy. We saw when he came back last season, he played a game and then the next game he was back out, and he was like, his ankle, or I think it was his foot or something, was still acting up. So like, we're still going to have to see if he's fully healthy. He might not be. Plus he had that disagreement with Sean Payton. Is that over? Is he still going to try to get him like every target? We don't know, So there's just a lot of uncertainty. Him and Julio Jones kind of have the same vibe for me. Like they're both great receivers, but they're both in pretty bad situations because most of their offense revolves around the run game with Kamara on the Saints and then Henry on the Titans. So Julio and Michael Thomas are just flex plays and possible wide receiver twos depending on the matchup. But every week I would just consider them for my flex, and that's about it.
Yeah, you're asking, I think the Saints are asking the running backs to do more, or asking Kamara to do more this season. Last couple of seasons, Saints had Mark Ingram and Kamara, but Drew Brees still got a lot of attempts because the coaches trusted him. So, they could throw it to Michael Thomas, but now it's more heavily focused on Kamara. And then again, play action and a few passes here and there. So yeah, I agree with what John was saying.
I don't think Michael Thomas will be a top 10 receiver when he comes back. But look, the Saints, you would have thought that one of the receivers would kind of step up in a role and be the main guy, and none of them have. And Callaway's been out with injury, and none of them have just step up and been like that number one guy. So it seems like Michael Thomas could just come in and be exactly what he was before, and they'd have no problem with that because no one else is stepping up. So you might as well go to Michael Thomas. So
Right.
let's go to the next take. Nathan KRY 1219. Ravens do the impossible, win the Super Bowl, and Lamar wins MVP and becomes the number one quarterback. All right. We're going to break this down a little bit because it's a little bit of an exaggeration. So, they can win the Super Bowl. Lamar could win MVP again, but number one QB is just not going to happen. But let's break this down to the first part of winning the Super Bowl. They're 5-1. I mean, so it's definitely possible. They have one of the best records in the AFC, so it's definitely possible. I personally think that this is like the peak of like a hill, and they're just going to go down and down because with all the injuries, there's no way that they can keep this up. Like, it's like teams when they play Alabama and in like the first half, they like keep it close and it like took all of their energy to keep it close. And in the second half, it's like they got nothing left and Alabama just runs away.
Right.
I don't want it to happen because I really do love the Ravens. I love this like comeback underdog story, but it just seems like it's going to go downhill. I don't know why I have that feeling, but it just seems like that they're just doing so much. Lamar is doing so much. The Chargers game was the first game that they actually just blown them out, which was so rare. Every other one has been close or they had to come back and win. So this was the first one they actually just like got it done, which is weird. But it seems like they're just hanging on for wins, and they could easily be like 3-3, you know?
Right.
So that's what worries me is those close games could help them, could benefit them. But at the same time, you have to think that those close games, you could be on the other side. And who knows if you'll have the same luck going forward in the second half of the season. So Super Bowl, it's possible. It's not impossible. But that's my take. I think it's going to crash and they may get a wild card, but Super Bowl, no.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen for the rest of the season.
Did you see this already? You're a fucking time traveler.
Yeah, I just closed my eyes for a second and saw it. But okay, so they're going to beat the Bengals this week because they're playing really well and they're at home. So they're going to win that game and go 6-1. Then they have a bye week. Then they play the Vikings at home. They're going to win that game. So now they're 7-1. Then they go at Dolphins, at Bears. So that's easy. Now they're 9-1. And now at that point, they're at the peak of the hill that you're talking about. I agree with the hill metaphor, but I don't think they're at their peak yet. So then everybody in the league is going to be talking about them. They're going to be the number one team in the AFC. And everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, the Ravens are back. Lamar's looking like an MVP. And that's the beginning of the hill. They're going to play the Browns on Sunday Night Football, the week of Thanksgiving. And they go, listen to the last few games of their season, or the last 7 games. They go Browns, Steelers, Browns, Packers, Bengals, Rams, Steelers.
No way.
That's basically like they're 2 games against the Browns. They're 2 games against the Steelers, both divisional games. They got to play at the Bengals, who I think the Bengals can definitely beat them. And then they're playing home against the Packers. So they're and home against the Rams. So they're 2 non-divisional games in the last 7 weeks are the Packers and the Rams, which are really tough. So I think they're going to win the next 4 games and they're going to be 9-1. And then, like you said, they're going to hit a hill. I don't think as far as Super Bowl, I don't think so. I think they're going to they might end up being first in their division or second to the Bengals. But as far as playoffs, 1 game win, maybe, if that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, historically, the Ravens have had good regular seasons under Lamar Jackson's wing the past few years. And like I was saying in the beginning of the season, look, I know the Ravens can get it done in the regular season. They're probably going to win the division. Those games that John mentioned, maybe they could beat the Browns twice, Steelers twice, okay. But when it comes to the playoffs, no. I've been telling you guys this, Ravens fans in the comments. I've been telling you this. When it comes to the playoffs, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens choke. Why? No idea. Maybe there's a certain way to play him. I mean, maybe there's a certain way to play him. You know, in the playoffs, they all know they're a rushing team. Everybody knows Lamar isn't the best thrower. Maybe they play him a certain way. I don't know. They just can't go very far in the playoffs, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. What John said. The first round they're going to lose.
And it's tougher when the AFC is so like well distributed that if they make the wild card, or they don't make if they win their division, they could still play a really good team in the wild card.
Right. They could play the Chargers in the first round or the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they just wrecked the Chargers, but it was regular season, so
right.
Playoffs are different. Like Jonathan just
That's
said.
the sad thing. They're probably, if they meet the Chargers, they're probably gonna Chargers probably gonna beat them.
Yeah.
So, the playoffs. I don't know if it's a curse or who knows.
All right. What about the Chiefs end the year strong, and no one remembers these first couple weeks? That was from Josh Stan 12, and then someone commented saying first couple weeks, meaning 7 weeks. I mean, they've looked bad nearly every week. It's the defense, but I saw a play last week, last Sunday, and it was a 4th down play. I've never seen a Chiefs 4th down play not work. It seems like they just have a long list of them, and they're all amazing.
Yeah.
They hike the ball. Mahomes muffs it, goes to pick it up, starts running, gets tackled at the same time, throws it up, gets hit, it goes all the way in the air, gets intercepted. I've never seen a play that looks that bad. Mahomes doesn't look like Mahomes, and that defense has to be the worst in the league. It's
Terrible.
so bad.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, you can't compete for a Super Bowl with that bad of a defense. It's not even if Tyrann Matthews is out, it's even worse. So like,
yeah, he's half of their defense.
Yeah, it's like it's literally like freaking Trayvon Diggs. If they lost Trayvon Diggs and the Cowboys, then they'd be nothing.
Yeah.
Tyrann Matthews has been in and out of the lineup. That defense doesn't look good. Mahomes doesn't look like Mahomes. I don't know. It's pretty scary that they're at the bottom of the division like this, but I don't know.
So you don't think? What do you think? Do you think they can win the division still?
I don't know. I want to read this comment from somebody else, Tab Lee, who said Chiefs not making the playoffs. So we have both spectrums. I would go towards making the playoffs, but I don't know, man.
Bro, are you serious? You're contemplating not even putting them in the playoffs?
Honestly, like,
wait, so okay.
All right, so there's 3 wildcard spots. So yes, they made the playoffs, but like, will they win a game? I don't think they do.
What?
I don't think they do.
All right, who made the comment? Who was the person that's made the comment? Chiefs, like, they'll pick it back up. Strong. Yeah, who made that comment?
Josh Stan.
Josh, okay. Josh, I completely agree with you. And here's what's going to happen. They have, Chris Jones, their best defensive lineman, has been injured. He hasn't been playing. Their number 1 corner, Travarius Ward, also hasn't been playing. He's injured. Okay, so they're close to returning. They're probably going to return this week. If not this week, they'll return next week. Obviously, they need some help from their defense, so that will help. My pretty bold take, and I'm going to say this again on my fantasy football podcast that we post Saturday, because one bold take I think Darrell Williams is going to be the starting running back for the Chiefs moving forward. And I think the reason is because in these next few games, they play the Titans, the Giants, the Packers, and the Raiders, and the Cowboys before their bye in week 12. And I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who we know is pretty good, he hasn't been able to rush between the tackles. And I think Darrell Williams is going to be able to rush between the tackles. He had 2 touchdowns this past week against the Washington football team. I think the Chiefs are going to find something in Darrell Williams, and they're going to be like, okay, this is our guy. They might bring in CEH when he comes back, but I think if you guys don't have Darrell Williams on your fantasy team, you guys need to try to trade for him, because I think even when CEH comes back, I think Darrell Williams is going to stay the starter. The Chiefs know that other teams are starting to figure out how to play them. Play 2 deep safeties, put a guy over Hill. Don't let him make any big plays. Let them just you're not going to be able to stop Kelsey in the middle of the field. So just stop Tyreek from getting huge plays, make them run the ball. And the Chiefs are going to have to start running the ball before they take those deep shots again. So I think they do. I think they realize that. I think their defense steps up. And I think, Josh, I think you're completely correct. I think they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be probably the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC. And I think they're going back to the Super Bowl. And I think everybody's going to forget about these first 7 weeks, because they play the Titans. They're going to win. They play the Giants. They're going to win. They play the Packers at home. They're probably going to win that. They play the Raiders. That's a win. They play the Cowboys. That's an easy win. And then they get a bye week.
Whoa. Pump the brakes here.
Yeah,
Cowboys have
pump
one
the
of the
brakes.
best offenses in the nation, and you're
Yeah.
going to say that they can't just tear up the Chiefs?
No, they can, but the Chiefs can tear up the Cowboys defense.
No, Diggs is going to have 9 interceptions, and
Dude, Diggs is going to look silly if he tries to cover Hill. He should just try to cover somebody else, because
put him on Kelsey.
yeah, just honestly. No, but seriously, I think after their bye week, they play Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Broncos. Okay, that the only tough game is the Chargers on Thursday Night Football. So you're basically going at least 5-1.
Though the Raiders beat them last year.
Yeah. Let's not forget.
But that game's at home. So
Yeah, but they lost to the Chargers at home.
Yeah.
So
True.
Yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know.
no, I
they
just
have a tough
think
looking at
I
it,
just think by that time their defense will be better, and I think their defense will be around mid tier in the league with Chris Jones, Travarius Ward. They're gonna have they know they're not dumb. They went to the Super Bowl last year. They Tyrann Mathieu. They're gonna have guys step up and become leaders in these situations. They're gonna pick it up, and with Darrell Williams running the ball, it's gonna pick up, and everybody's gonna forget about this.
yeah, I mean, it could definitely happen with Patrick Mahomes. I still think he's a really great player. He's probably gotten big headed or something. I don't know. Like, they ranked him as number 1 player in the NFL. I don't know. Maybe he's getting big headed, throwing all these interceptions. The team needs to get their head together and focus on winning these next few games. But it's not going to be that easy. The Titans, they just came off a great win against the Bills. The Bills, the Bills are a decent team. Okay, they just came off a great win, and they're playing the Chiefs with Derrick Henry. I think the Chiefs defense is going to struggle with stopping Derrick Henry. I mean, every team struggles. I think Derrick Henry's stats these past 5 games or so have been crazy, over 100 yards every single game. And so they're going to struggle against Derrick Henry. Let's not forget that. And so, I don't think this next week's going to be that easy for them to just pick up a win. In terms of the Giants, okay, they're probably going to win that one. The Packers, not an easy team. Raiders, like Jared mentioned, I mean, they beat them before. They're not terrible. The Raiders could easily win that. And so, and the Cowboys, I mean, enough said, Super Bowl champs. And so, these next few games, I don't think they're as easy, but I think it's possible if those players that John was mentioning, Chris Jones, the cornerback award. In terms of the running backs, by the way, I still think they need both. When CH comes back, I think they need CH pounding the ball, but they also need that, that speedy running back like Darrell Williams to, catch passes in the backfield. So I still think they need both to be successful. But I agree, in the next few weeks, if they can get those players back, and the Chiefs can realize that, hey, teams are out to get us. I think they could turn things around and make the playoffs. But It's not going to be easy. Don't like these. A lot of these games can be close. Okay, it's not going to be a blowout these next few games. So
The AFC, like we've been saying this whole time, is tough, tough, tough. You could win the AFC West, and you could be potentially playing like the Bengals or something.
Right.
You know, it is very, very tough. And also, who knows if the Chiefs still have that fire to win a Super Bowl after you already won one, you know?
going to another.
Yeah, it's tough to win another one. So, and they almost went back to back, but let's go to something different that we haven't talked about. Rookie of the Year. So, I wish I knew how to spell your name.
This is
Or
easy.
say your name.
Easy.
Yeah, easy.
I can't say the name. I don't even know. I'm just gonna say the last part. Ronan.
What's the first part?
Nyoka. Ronan.
Njoku.
It's about Rookie of the Year. So,
John, I want to say it together on 3.
Yeah, we're all gonna.
All right. So they commented something. So, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Najee.
Jamar Chase.
Ooh, she said, or he says Najee.
No, it's Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, yeah.
Dude, he's just too good.
Yeah.
Think about it though. Najee is a receiving back, so he's getting the receptions as well as running the ball. He's gonna have rushing touchdowns and receiving touchdowns, receiving yards and rushing touchdowns. I don't know if you can top that with just being a receiver. And halfway through the next half of the season, they're going to be covering Jamar Chase a lot more. I mean, he already didn't have a touchdown last game.
True. I think it's true that Najee Harris might have more all-purpose yards by the end of the season, but I think the Bengals are going to have a better record than the Steelers, and the Bengals will make the playoffs. I mean, it's rare to see an offensive rookie of the year win it when their team sucks. And Najee Harris and the Steelers are pretty bad. So the guys that are voting on this stuff, they know. They watch the games. Like you know that Jamar Chase is just playing insane right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's more valuable to the Bengals than
right. Exactly. He's gotten a 30+ yard catch in every single game. Like, okay, defenses haven't been able to stop him at all.
Najee is definitely, if they lost Najee, Steelers they have no wins.
No, they'd be Lions status.
Yeah. So there are other comments. This guy, Nicholas Nunez, he says Najee. Another guy says Chase. So it's definitely between them. We know that none of the quarterbacks are going to win it. They all suck this year.
Yeah. It's surprising because they usually give it to a quarterback, even if they're not that good.
Right. All right, let's do a couple more. This guy, his name's Big Yikes 13. Dallas will win it all.
Yikes.
Jonathan, you probably don't agree with that, right?
I definitely agree. That's definitely going to happen. And there was a certain stat, I forgot what it was. It's like the Cowboys haven't. There's some stat since 1995. I forgot what it was. The Cowboys haven't. Let me try to find this because it's very important.
So wait, Jared, who was that asked that question or said that?
Big yikes.
Yeah, that is a big yikes. If you think that's gonna happen.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys. I think this is probably. I think since 1995, this is probably one of their best records. I think that's what I heard. That was like a stat in 1995.
Like their best start.
Yeah, their best start since 1995. In 1995, that was the year the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
So
okay, it's gonna happen this year.
No.
Offense is unstoppable. I can't believe. Look, Dak Prescott threw for 445 yards against a Bill Belichick coach team in New England.
Yeah, so did Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is the Super Bowl champion, so it makes sense.
Makes sense. No.
Jared, you just bailed him out there.
Since a Patriots coached Belichick team, no team has done as good as Dak. Okay? No team has done as good as Dak. 445 yards. Google it. No team has done it. Google it. It's a record. It's a stat.
Google it.
Google what?
Yeah. No quarterback has thrown for 445 yards, or I think more than 400 yards or something like that, in a Belichick coached Patriots era. Ever since he took over as Patriots head coach, no quarterback has thrown over 400.
That's the most passing yards they've let up in one game. In the last 22 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you sure? Are you 100%?
I'm sure.
You better look that up again. I don't believe that.
I'm sure about this.
That would be impressive.
Yes, it says right here. Dak Prescott's 445 passing yards on Sunday is a new record for quarterbacks facing a Bill Belichick coach Patriots team in the 383 games since Belichick took over as head coach in New England. No opposing quarterback has thrown a better game. There you have it, folks. The Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. No team has done it. If you can beat Belichick like this, imagine what you can do to every other defense in the league. No team is going to be able to stop our offense. The Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl.
What site was that? What site was that stat from?
It's called.
You already know it's not.
No. Okay, there's multiple. So I see Inside the Star. I see Clutch Points. I see NBC Sports. I see Fox News. There's many different sources. So this is a big deal, folks.
How does that correlate to Super Bowl though? That's my question.
The Super Bowl, let me tell you how it correlates. If you can pick apart Bill Belichick's defense like that, what defense can stop you in the league this year?
All right, he doesn't have the best defense ever.
Yeah, he's not that good.
His teams are. This is why Bill Belichick is so good. His defenses specifically are always well coached.
They're well coached, but that doesn't mean they're good.
Oh, they're always good.
They let up 45 points to Nick Foles.
Nick Foles? I mean, I'm talking about this year. I'm talking about this year, though. This year.
Oh, yeah. This year, their defense sucks.
Tom Brady struggled against their defense. Let's not forget that. It's
Tom Brady. He knows everything about Brady.
I wouldn't use that excuse. Use that excuse. Okay, Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl. I mean, they won the Super Bowl. Okay, and so that's just a little piece. Again,
bro, their defense let up 22 points to the Texans.
Cowboys?
Okay, no, the Patriots. So it's not that good.
So let me ask you this: so you say you'd have to make the Super Bowl, you're probably gonna have to beat the Bucks.
You're gonna have to beat the Bucks or the Rams.
Guys, we had the Bucks. People don't realize this. The Cowboys had the Bucks beat the first game. We had them beat.
Now, Jonathan, hang on.
Kicker didn't make the field goal.
That was regular season Brady.
Yeah,
you're going to be playing playoff Brady,
and we're going to be playing playoff Cowboys. Cowboys.
Right, so it's already a loss.
No. That's a good one. Look, there's just too many pieces to stop. Are you kidding me? There's too many pieces to stop. Cooper is going to be. Cooper's not. He hasn't been playing 100%. Okay, guys. He's been battling injury.
And Gallup still isn't back.
Yeah, Gallup still isn't back. You have all these players. So by the playoffs, they're going to be 100%.
No, but you forgot that Aaron Rodgers and Mason Crosby are still in the league. Do you remember the last time you faced them in the playoffs?
I mean, they're too one-sided.
Bro, you're going to have to play you're going to have to play two of these teams in the playoff. You're going to have to play Cardinals, Packers, Rams, Buccaneers. You're going to have to play two of those teams.
Okay.
How are you going to beat two of them?
Yeah. Cardinals, they could win the Super Bowl, like we said before, but they're still inexperienced. Dak Prescott, we've lost the playoff before. And so we have that bad taste in our mouth. We want to win a Super Bowl. So that's out of the question. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but they don't have enough pieces. Stop Devontae Adams. We're going to beat them easily. The Rams, okay? Look, Stafford and Sean McVay, this is their first season together. They've done decent, but
you can't say anything bad about them.
No. Because they have a good defense in terms of Ramsey, but we have too many receivers. Are you going to cover Cooper? Okay, fine. We'll throw it to CeeDee Lamb. Are you going to cover CeeDee Lamb? Fine. We'll throw it to Cooper or Wilson, Wilson, or Gallup. Look. No defense can stop the Cowboys. Okay, but in terms of their offense, in terms of the Rams' offense, I think our defense needs to improve before we face the Rams. But Trevon Diggs has been getting interceptions basically every game.
Not basically, it's
Basically,
literally every
has.
game.
Yeah.
He has every game.
Yeah, and so I think he could come up big in those big playoff games against the Rams or against Packers or whoever. He could come up big.
Hey, wait, John.
So-
John, who commented about the record?
Oh, somebody
TikTok?
commented
Did someone
Um,
comment that?
about
the Cowboys
what?
record.
Trayvon Diggs.
Oh yeah, they said Brian.Perez18 said Trevon Diggs can beat the most picks in a season with 14.
So he has to beat 14.
I think he has to get
Oh,
14.
get to 14, and he's at 7.
Yeah, he's already at 7. He's already halfway
through
there.
6.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't.
I mean,
Okay,
it could
here's what's
definitely
going to
happen
happen. My take on the Cowboys, no, definitely no Super Bowl, but I don't think Trevon Diggs is going to break that record. I think teams are going to. He's kind of like not. I'm not saying he's getting lucky because he has made a lot of plays and a lot of great plays, but like the ball is kind of just like finding him. It like tipped off one of the guys and he caught it. Tipped off like another guy and he caught it. So like I'm not saying he's getting lucky. He's in good spots, but like the ball's finding him a lot right now. I don't think he's going to get 14 interceptions. Maybe like 11 or 12 possibly, but my concern is the defense. Obviously, we know the Cowboys offense is one of the top 4 in the league, but like it's their defense, like the secondary. Without Diggs, where would you be right now? Like, would you really have that many wins? I don't know.
Well, we have Diggs. We don't have to worry about that because we have him.
I know, but what if he like stops performing or they figure out how to beat him, like put him on double move or?
Well, we just let go of Jalen Smith, so Michael Parsons is still getting comfortable with that position at linebacker. Near the end of the season and in the playoffs, he's going to be comfortable playing that position with Van Der Esch.
I figured out your biggest weakness. I just remembered it.
What is it?
Your pass rush. DeMarcus Lawrence is broken foot.
But we have Randy Gregory.
He's been injured on and off of the field. I mean, you got nobody to run after the quarterback.
You saw that hit against who was it? That quarterback.
It
was against Mac Jones. You saw that big hit.
That is very important when you're trying to beat guys like Brady and Rodgers.
You can't beat Brady or Rodgers without getting a pass rush. Or Kyler Murray. How are you going to catch Kyler Murray?
Oh, look, we have a pass rush.
Who? Name one of your pass rushers other than Randy Gregory.
Okay.
That's tough. Wait, that's like everybody.
Tough.
That's like
look. I think.
You don't have any.
Look, not every team has a great pass rush, but if you don't have a great pass rush, then you sort of lean on your defensive backs to make big plays like Trevon Diggs has been making.
True.
And so
you can't just lean.
I think our pass rush is decent. It's not great like some other teams, but it's decent. So I don't think that's going to be an issue with Brady. And look, if we didn't have a pass rush, then how did we basically had Tom Brady beat in the big regular season? And so, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
All right. So if we had to predict the Cowboys, can we at least agree they're going to win the NFC East?
Yeah, they're going to win that.
Okay. So they're definitely going to get a home game, the first game of the playoffs. So
right.
They'll have a lot going for them.
Right.
Yep.
As far as Super Bowl, I'm going to say no, but
okay, you guys remember this day. Remember this day.
They're not making it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
You guys are gonna regret this. I want this posted on TikTok once they do, please.
Once they do.
You could post this all over TikTok if they win the Super Bowl.
All right, let's do one more comment. I'm gonna find one more, and then we'll do predictions super quick. And it's about the Giants.
Oh gosh.
It's not the Daniel Jones will come back and win the Super Bowl and MVP. Kadarius Toney. So this is from Rocastic. Kadarius Toney produces as a top 10 receiver when he comes back. So I guess we're talking about end of the season. We look back at all the receivers and he's going to be top 10. Probably not the case, but he is a superstar. I mean, this is reminiscent of when Odell was back with the Giants. Tony's route running is, I mean, it's as perfect as anybody.
Yeah, he might not have the hands that Odell has, even though we did see him make that one catch. I think it was like a 30-yarder from Glenn, I think it was Daniel Jones at that point. I don't know. But remember, it was down the right sideline and he kind of went over.
That when he hurt his ankle?
I think it might have been. He like caught it over a guy. But yeah, his route running is great. As far as the only thing I could say about that is no, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't even think he's going to be top 20 or 30. And the reason is because the Giants have so many other options. I mean, Galladay's going to be back. Slayton's going to be back. Shepard is already back. Engram is already back. Barkley is still going to come back. I mean, okay, yeah, Tony has been very good, but you can only get so many targets in a game. Maybe he gets 7 or 8 targets. Like you can't, it's hard to turn that into wide receiver 10 numbers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy has been really hyped the past couple of weeks. And, you know, I know I said like a few minutes ago, the Cowboys secondary is pretty good. I mean, we're decent, but at the same time, you know, if you have good receivers, I mean, it's easy to have great games against the Cowboys secondary. Okay. And that's what happened. He just had one good game against the Cowboys, and all of a sudden, whoa, Kadarius Toney. No, I think he's a little bit overhyped right now. It's just one game. Let's wait till like 5-7 games and see how he does. One game, you know, having a 100-yard game, that's good. That's decent, but I'm unimpressed.
200-yard.
Did you see? I don't know if you guys saw this, but I know you're saying he's overhyped after one game. But did you see before he exited the game against the Rams, he had that one catch against some of the one cornerback, and he was going towards the sideline as he was making the catch, and he just stopped, and the guy like falls down, and he goes right around him. Like he's pretty legit. He's aware of what's around him. He's aware of his surroundings, and he's got a pretty good burst. So it's going to be very hard to tackle him on first try.
Yeah, I did see that. I wish I could say who he reminds me of. It's like a Tavon Austin gadget guy, but it seems like he's a way better route runner,
right,
than those gadget guys, Tavon Austin or like I don't know, like Rondale Moore type guys. Like he stops on a dime. That play you're talking about against the Rams, and he's literally going out to the sideline, and he just takes one step and just stops and goes the other way.
Yeah.
There's no way to guard that.
Yeah, there's no like he doesn't like slow down. Like he stays the same speed. Like boom, boom, he's the other direction, same speed.
And I've never seen a route against Diggs that he had.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen that before.
Stopped and turned the other way and just kept going. Like he didn't turn around and
right.
He was facing the quarterback the whole time as he was making those moves.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, you know, this is the NFL. You have a lot of great talent here. A lot of people make great plays. A lot of great athletes. I'm sure y'all saw that Julio Jones play the other day against the Bills, where where the ball like hit the Bills player's helmet.
Oh yeah, and then he ran and still got it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's plays like that all the time in the NFL. You see a lot of great athletic plays, but at the end of the day, consistency is a mark of a champion.
Sure.
I mean, that's how you tell somebody's good. This is the NFL. Right. Everybody's good, but who is elite? It depends how consistent they are.
Yeah, they didn't
weekly produce.
They didn't play him in the first before the Cowboys game. Then he was healthy for the Cowboys game, got injured at the end of the game, then started the Rams and got injured again. So it's like he's got to have a stretch where he's not injured and just
exactly
playing.
Staying healthy is part of it. See. Yeah, staying healthy is part of the game. It's part of the game, unfortunately. So
100%.
He's potential, but you know, I don't know. I'm not sold on him yet. I wouldn't get him in fantasy yet.
Well, yeah, with injuries, yeah. All right, that'll conclude our TikTok segment with all the fans. Thank you so much to everyone who commented. I wish we could get to everybody, but we only got like an hour show. So thank you to everyone who commented and to everyone who we answered on the podcast or on the podcast right now. Thank you guys so much. If you didn't know, our TikTok is at Dorm Debate Podcast. We also have an Instagram at Dorm Debate Podcast. It's the same thing. So go over there, hang out with us, and we have a bunch of new videos coming out. We have a new video every single day on TikTok and new posts on Instagram that you can interact with. So that's always there. And John does a fantasy football live show noon on Sunday. It'll be from noon to 12:45. He does it every single week. So you can catch that on TikTok as well. You can actually register for it in our bio. And we're going to get into our last segment, which is our week 7 predictions. So I didn't even have time to look at these, but I'm just going to go through some of the games. And I mean, did any games stick out to you guys?
I mean, I think the game of
particular?
there's two really good games, the Bengals Ravens, obviously, and then the Chiefs Titans. But I mean, do you guys think, are any of yours related to like an upset? Like, can the Lions beat the Rams in LA and get their first win of the season? Like, is that possible at all? Or can the Texans beat the Cardinals and ruin their undefeated season?
I was actually looking at the Bears.
Bears beating the Bucks?
Yeah.
Wow. That would be bold.
And I think, you know what? No, I can't do it. I hate Justin Fields. I can't do it.
Yeah, there's no way Justin Fields is going to beat the Bucks defense. He's not even. There's no way he's going to be able to score 20 points, and the Bucks are scoring 20. So,
do we want to just bet on the Bengals Ravens game? Although we did that last week, but
I think we should do Chiefs Titans, or we could do both.
Titans. Okay, let's do Chiefs Titans. So the Chiefs Titans play. It's in Tennessee, 1:00 game. That one, the Titans come off a win against the Bills, and the Chiefs come off a win against Washington football team. We just talked about both, but if I had to choose the way the Titans played in Tennessee, I would say that I'm taking the Tennessee Titans over the Chiefs.
Wow. Jonathan, what do you say?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, the Chiefs haven't been playing good at all. I don't think Chris Jones is coming back next game, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, CH is probably still going to be out.
By the way, Kansas City opens as 5.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot of points.
I mean, gosh, this is a tough one.
We don't got all day.
You look like you're taking a hard math test or something.
Yeah, it's tough. Because I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I'm confident in him. I'm confident in him, even though he's had a tough season so far. But the Tennessee Titans have played well. I'm going with Tennessee.
Wow.
Boom, 2 Tennessee.
Wow. Let's see if we can make it 3 Tennessee.
Can we sweep the board?
The Chiefs are going to win this game, guys. Come on. You guys know they're gonna stack the box. Henry's only going to get 120, 130 yards and a touchdown, which is still good for fantasy. But Mahomes, oh my gosh, guys, Tyreek Hill. If you have Tyreek Hill in fantasy, expect a huge game from Hill. The Chiefs are going to win this game, and me and Josh are going to work together because Josh also thinks that everybody's going to forget these first 7 weeks, and I do too.
I think you're just relying on Patrick Mahomes too much. I think we have to face the fact that he's kind of downgraded a little bit.
Oh gosh, come on now.
Well, he downgraded this season. It's just not this season.
Come on.
He's
kind
regressed.
of big-headed. They came off of 2 back-to-back Super Bowl, not wins, but just they came off of 2 back-to-back Super Bowls, and so they're a little big-headed. Patrick Mahomes ranked number 1 overall, right? I think it's not their season. I don't know if he's downgraded. I think next year he's going to be still good, but this season.
Did you guys get possessed last night or something? I don't understand this.
Look, I just have to face what they've produced out on the field, and it's not good. I can't be going at stuff from last year. I have to look at what happened this year.
But don't you want to get like one prediction right? Don't you want to get one of your like?
I already did. I picked Bills over Texans. The boldest take of them all. No, I mean, it'll be interesting. It's good that we didn't all pick Titans, because I know in all those Monday night shows and the Sunday morning shows, when they all sweep the board and pick the same team, the other team wins.
Right.
So it's good that we split it so that the Titans win.
Right. So is a pickle on the board or no? Or how about wait, no, this is perfect because the Chiefs are going to win. So Jared, I mean, we'll find a flavor pickle that you like, and Jonathan, I'll try to find a cheap flight to where you want to go. Not Africa this time, right? You've been
Australia
there.
this time, different continent.
Yeah, let's try somewhere different. No, I'm kidding. This game's gonna be close.
Yeah, it
This
is.
game's gonna be close. So I'm not comfortable betting
I'd
on this.
I would put like, oh, it's so disgusting. I wouldn't even, I can't even think about it. Like a cheese pizza. Ugh. So I would eat a cheese pizza.
What? No, dude, you love pizza.
Oh man, no, I can't.
I got it. If Chiefs win, I'll burn this jersey. I'm kidding.
Oh, shoot.
I'm
no,
kidding. I'm kidding.
I would not.
Bro,
That was a jump. I'd
bro,
rather.
you just bought it.
I would
Yeah,
rather fly to Australia than burn a jersey.
I'd burn the jersey.
Oh my god. All right, that's enough. We've
All
rounded.
right, so Australia flights we'll look up.
All right, that does it for this week's episode of the Dorm Debate podcast. As I said before, if you're not following on Instagram and TikTok, it is at Dorm Debate Podcast. TikTok is where John will be doing his live show on Sunday at noon. So go check out that. As well, we have John's fantasy football show that premieres Saturday morning. So you can go check that out, all things fantasy football. And I wanted to give a shout out to MM Seahawks and Philip Curcio and Aiden Seamus. So
3 people?
3 guys.
Wow.
So Aiden always comments on our stuff. So big shout out to Aiden. And they all 3 of them commented Eckler last week.
Wow.
Deep in the podcast where I was like, if you come at Eckler, I'll Venmo you $1. So I'll be giving out $3, one to MM Seahawks, one to Aiden, and one to Philip. So spend that however you'd like.
Go get a candy bar.
Get a candy bar. It's our
Candy bar on Dorm Debate this week.
yeah. So good for you guys, and thank you guys again for supporting us on YouTube. It means a lot to us. So thank you guys again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week on Thursday. So see you guys then.